All right, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs continue to just kill it on the recruiting trail. They added commitments from two of the top safety prospects in the country in the 2024 class. And yesterday, they added two commitments from two of the top players across the country in the 2025 class. So I know what you're saying. Matt, they're in the 2025 class. They don't mean anything right now. They're just going to flip their commitments down the road. Not a big deal. And I don't fully agree with you because these are big deals. They are big-time players. But I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I think these guys are going to be really good. One of them's an in-state guy, Justice Terry. I have him in my own personal rankings as the number 4 player in the state of Georgia for the 2025 class. He's going to be a junior next season for Manchester High School. Just an absolute freak. Listed at 6'5", 275. He's going to play at around 280, between there and 290 when he gets to Athens. I saw him on the sidelines, I believe it was for before the Tennessee game. I don't think he's 6'5". I think he's a solid 6'3", maybe a tall 6'3". Listen, 6'5" is big. That is a tall person if they're 6'5". And even if you're 6'3", if you're as tall as Justice Terry, you're way taller than the average person, right? So I'm not buying on him being a legit 6'5", but he's tall enough, he's big enough, but the dude is ripped. It looks like a bodybuilder. He had a picture that went viral, I guess, last year, showing, him working out, just showing off his guns, with the caption saying that he's can't wait to get to high school, or can't wait to play in his second year, one of the two. I'm hoping to find that picture and have it up here for you, but he is strong, he is powerful, he's quick off the ball, and just damn near impossible to cover or to block one-on-one for offensive linemen in that region that he plays against, and can run really well for 270, knows how to pop. He'll leave a bruise when he hits you. This is a big-time player and a guy that Georgia has been recruiting for a while now, and the sophomore film is impressive. Obviously, he's physically fit, looks like a bodybuilder. He's going to fit in nice in Athens in that strength and conditioning program. Now, when I first heard about him, I believe it was in 8th grade, hearing all about him, I said, I get he's big and strong and powerful, and he's got all the muscles in the world, but can he play football? Then I watched the sophomore film last month, and the answer is yes. He knows what he's doing. He's got a little swim move, right? Boom. He's got one of those little swim moves that is just tough to beat. I should be training guys. I've got a great swim move myself, I think. But he can get after the quarterback. He can get after the running back, makes plays in the backfield consistently, always doing his job. He is a guy who is going to play inside, but he's going to bring some more mass and muscle to Georgia's interior defensive line. He is a big deal. I think one outlet has him as the number 35 prospect in the country, number 6 player in Georgia. I have him as the number 4 player in Georgia. That group is loaded. 2025 in Georgia is absolutely ridiculous. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you my top 10 rankings in Georgia. But I want to talk about Micah DeBose first. He's from Alabama, and he's the number 50 player in the country in that 25 class. Listen, if Georgia's going to go down to South Alabama and start taking these elite offensive tackles like Micah DeBose, a legit 6'5", I think, 315 pounds, a lean frame too. I mean, he can add more weight and more muscle on it. But I'll tell you what, if Georgia goes down to South Alabama and starts getting the kids they want, and these guys are saying, no thanks, Auburn, no thanks, Alabama, I'm going to go over to Georgia and compete for championships, that's going to trigger a lot of Alabama fans. And I know there's a lot of Alabama fans watching these videos because we get a lot of hate watching, right? A lot of fans from other teams watch these videos. They hate us, love to comment, but we're here for you. We're trying to make everyone a smarter Georgia fan, not just the people that, pull for the Georgia Bulldogs. So 2 big-time players. Micah DeBose, though, he's a big deal. I saw some of his highlights last month as well, and he's just a mauler. I mean, he is burying guys, taking them and putting them in the ground, shoving them into the ground, making dents all over the field. He is a pancake machine. Again, at plenty of size, moves well, has good footwork. From what I can tell, I'm not, an offensive line expert, but I talk to a lot of people who are, and they coach the offensive line. They work with offensive linemen from across the country, so they know what they're talking about. And they can tell me, hey, this is what you're supposed to look for in a lineman. This guy has it. This guy doesn't. This guy's tripping over his feet. This guy plays with a balanced base. This guy has, enough length to stop these long athletic pass rushers that we are just all over the place now. These edge rushers, natural pass rushers, they're long and athletic too. And you need guys like Micah DeBose from Mobile, Alabama, 6'5", 315, who's only going to get better. And he's an imposing figure. I would hate to be a high school defensive lineman trying to get past this guy. And he did it as a sophomore. And again, he was just bullying guys left and right, opened up massive holes in the run game on the left side, proved to be a nice pass protector as well. But in the run game, he's coming off the snap, taking these guys and just shoving them backwards and taking them 15 yards. He's a guy who plays to the whistle, finishes his blocks. I mean, his film, if you go back and watch it, I wish I could put their highlights above this right now so you're not just looking at my beautiful face, but I don't own the rights to that. The people who filmed that at their school do, and you can watch it on Huddle, but it was really, really impressive. And just 2 minutes in, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a Georgia guy. This is a Georgia guy. There are a lot of players who maybe have an offer from Georgia or an offer from Alabama, and they're ranked in the top 100 in the country. And I'm sitting there watching the film. I'm like, man, is this guy Georgia good? Is this guy someone who can play and help lead Georgia to another championship? Sometimes I'm not really sure. And sometimes Georgia signs guys that I'm not totally high on. But again, I'm not a college football coach making, almost $1 million a year just yet. But Micah DeBose is one where he said, okay, even for a sophomore, if this guy continues to work and develop and get better and put in the work over these next 2 years of high school, he's going to come to Georgia and really push these guys ahead of him. I mean, he is a big, big deal. Number 50 prospect in the country, according to 247. Number 4 player in Alabama, number 4 offensive tackle prospect in the country. Number 6 player in Alabama. Both Alabama, Georgia are loaded with 2025 kids. I can't say that enough. But between Micah DeBose and Justice Terry, I know they're young. I know they're just sophomores right now. And a lot of people don't care because they are so young. But Justice Terry, I don't think is going anywhere. This is a Georgia kid, jumped in early when he had the green light, can't wait to be a Bulldog. Georgia's going to have to hold on to Micah DeBose because Alabama is going to come. Auburn is going to do whatever they can to try to land this big-time offensive tackle from their own state. LSU is going to come by and knock on his door. Texas A&M is going to throw who knows how many NIL possible opportunities, bags at him, whatever. I say that, probably shouldn't say that, but I did. I just said it. But they're really good football players, so they might be young, but it's my job. I have to report when Georgia lands a commitment, and they landed 2 of the best commitments in the country for the 2025 class yesterday, which was Monday. So it's a big deal whether you care about recruiting or care that these guys are young. These guys are big deals. Real quick, just want to throw out my personal list in the state of Georgia for 2025. I'm excited to cover this group. Number 1, Zayden Walker at Sly County. Big time linebacker. Love everything he brings to the table. 6'3", 220, running back, linebacker. He's coming to light you up. Big, big deal. I think he's the number 1 player in the country. Juan Gaston, father played basketball at Georgia Tech. As athletic as it gets for 6'7", legit 6'7". I've seen him up close and personal. Is a massive dude, 330 pounds. And he was just a sophomore at Westlake High School in Atlanta last year. I saw them play Carrollton. Big time game. Juan Gaston Jr. was just mauling dudes. Love him. Number 2 player in the state. Elijah Griffin, a guy who one outlet has him as the number 2 player in the country, the entire country for the 2025 class. I have him at number 3 in the state. That's how good I think these players are at the very top. Big time pass rusher, edge defender, will probably move inside at the next level. He's already like 265, 270, going to keep adding more muscle. But he's just a crazy athletic defensive lineman who can get to the quarterback. He's the number 3. Justice Terry just committed to Georgia. Number 4, Antoine Hill Jr., Houston County quarterback, lit it up last year as a sophomore. I think he's number 4 in the state. Number 5 in the state, number 1 quarterback. He's got offers from everywhere. We'll see if Georgia continues to push for him. Jonte Gilbert, defensive back out of Douglas High School in Atlanta, committed to Ohio State. Long, athletic, twitchy defensive back, cornerback with ball skills. He's big time in my opinion. I have him at number 6. Jaden Perlotti, number 7, linebacker. He's also committed to Georgia out of Beaufort High School. I think a lot of people have him higher than number 7, but for me, I think solid spot, right? I mean, you're a top 10 player in Georgia. You're a big, big deal. Really good player. I have him at number 7. Usman Chroma, big time running back. I love him out of Lee County. He's a tackle breaker, 5'11". He's listed right here at 180 pounds. I think he's a little heavier than that. Speedy dude, athletic, plays basketball, hit a game-winning shot for Lee County earlier this week. Tackle breaking machine who can take it the distance every time he touches the ball. I have him at number 8. Mason Short, a guy who some people think is a 5-star. I think he's a borderline 5-star. He's a legit 6'7", I think. Tall 5'6", 6'5", probably in the 6'6" range. 6'7" is big. 6'7" is a tall dude. I'm not sure he's 6'7", but he's up there. He definitely has the height, the mass, the wingspan, the length, and he's got a frame to keep adding muscle. He's not at 300 pounds, I don't think, just yet, but he's a big deal. I've seen him in person twice. He's a really, really good player and a borderline 5-star. I have him at number 9. And then Nick Brooks. He's a legit 6'7". He's listed at 6'8", 330. Tall dude. I've talked about him before. If you watch a lot of my videos, you've already know who he is. Went from St. Francis High School in Milton, Georgia. He's going to play at Buford last year. There's something in the chicken. There's something in the milk that these kids are ingesting at such a young age. I need to know what it is so I can feed my son whatever's in this milk and chicken that's making these kids, some of them, 6'6", 6'7" already at 15, 16 years old. It's crazy. These kids are getting bigger, faster, stronger every year. And I'm going to talk more about the 24 class over the next, year, 12 months, because I think Georgia is going to land the number 1 recruiting class, and it could be very, very special. But just a quick little video about the 2025 guys, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm here to keep y'all updated. And when Justice Terry makes a lot of plays in Athens one day, you're going to be like, oh yeah, Matt made that video years and years ago about this kid. Now I know all about him, and I can tell all my friends about him. So I probably went a little too long for breaking down 2025 prospects. But I love this stuff. My job is to get you interested, so you can go over to Dog Post and read more about it. Y'all, thank you for watching this video. As always, I really appreciate it. Stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and I will see you over on Dog Post.